The studio of The View buzzed with unusual tension that morning. Producers hurriedly adjusted lights, checked cue cards, and whispered into headsets. Today's guest was Jane Fonda, a figure known not only for her acting but also for her unwavering activism. And Joy Behar? Joy was sharp, fearless, and never shy about challenging anyone. As the cameras rolled, Joy greeted the audience with her usual smile. "Welcome back to The View. Today we have a true legend, Jane Fonda." Applause filled the studio. Jane waved politely, sitting gracefully in her chair. Yet there was a different energy in the room, something that immediately hinted at a potential clash. Jane's calmness carried weight, while Joy's eyes held a glint of mischief and challenge. After a few light questions about Jane's latest documentary, Joy pivoted sharply. "So, Jane," she began, leaning forward, "you've been outspoken about politics and activism for decades. But some critics say your activism has become perhaps overly dramatic. Don't you think you sometimes push it too far?" The audience gasped softly. Sunny raised an eyebrow. Whoopi blinked twice. Jane remained composed, her gaze unwavering. Joy tried to continue, but Jane raised a single hand, a gesture so simple, yet powerful it cut Joy off mid-sentence. "Joy," Jane said calmly, "are you asking a question or delivering a speech?" The audience erupted in laughter. Joy forced a smile, a hint of surprise on her face. "If people feel uncomfortable with what I say," Jane continued, "perhaps that means the message is landing where it needs to." The spark had been lit. The conversation was no longer lighthearted. Tension crackled in the air, signaling a battle of words that everyone in the studio could feel. Jane's poise, combined with her unapologetic stance, set the stage for a showdown that was about to unfold. During the break, the tension simmered. Producers scurried around, trying to anticipate the next verbal clash. Joy sipped water, her jaw tight, clearly ready to continue. Jane remained composed, flipping through notes as if nothing had happened. When the cameras came back, Joy jumped straight in. "Jane, some say your activism divides rather than unites. You call for sweeping reforms, and ordinary people sometimes feel blamed. Isn't that counterproductive?" Jane looked at her steadily. "Joy, you know better than to frame change as blame." Joy's tone sharpened. "I'm just repeating what people ask." "No," Jane replied firmly. "You're repeating what critics say. The real question is why they say it," the audience murmured. Joy's expression hardened. "So now I'm the problem?" Jane leaned forward, calm yet piercing. "The problem is when influential people dismiss activism as an inconvenience. It strengthens those who want no change at all. That, Joy, is dangerous." Joy tried to argue, but the words caught in her throat. Jane continued, measured and clear. "If you want to challenge me, do it with solutions, not cynicism." The room fell silent. Even the camera operators froze for a moment. The conversation had shifted. Jane wasn't just defending herself. She had taken control of the dialogue, steering it with authority and clarity. Joy finally exhaled. "Well, that's one way to put it." Jane smiled politely. "It's the honest way." The audience erupted in applause. The verbal battle had reached a turning point. Jane Fonda had not just held her ground, she had subtly, yet decisively shut down her challenger. The final segment began. Studio lights glowed, highlighting every expression. The tension was almost tangible. Everyone knew a conclusion was near. Joy attempted a cautious approach. "Jane, perhaps my questions were pointed, but I wasn't trying to attack. I'm just reflecting the concerns of people who feel that activism should be gentler." Jane leaned back slightly, calm yet intense. "Joy, change is never gentle. It pushes, it awakens, it disrupts. Those who fear it always say, 'Take it easy, wait. Don't make waves.' But nothing meaningful happens quietly." Joy looked unsettled. The conversation had shifted completely. Jane continued, steady and unwavering. "Activism isn't performance. It's a responsibility to humanity. And when influential people dismiss it as drama or exaggeration, they empower those who resist any change. That is what is truly dangerous." The audience sat in near silence, captivated. Jane added, softer yet firm, "Whether people like it or not, I will stand by my principles. And if truth seems loud to you, then I will be loud." Applause erupted. The camera captured every stunned expression. Even Whoopi nodded knowingly, sensing the historical weight of the moment. Joy finally let out a soft laugh, a mix of concession and respect. Well, I guess that settles it. The show ended. The producers exhaled. But everyone in the studio understood one thing. Jane Fonda hadn't just won an argument, she had decisively, calmly, and unmistakably shut it down.